As listeners know, we advocate for the conservation and protection of animals in the wild, and we like to shed light on the many challenges animals face in the wild. So in honor of World Giraffe Day, which was June 21st, Peter, I thought we would learn about and test your knowledge on these beautiful creatures.
Okay, I know a little about them.
How many different species of giraffe
4.
are? How did you know that?
Oh, I read.
But can you name them?
No, I knew you were going to ask me that too as the follow-up.
The Maasai, southern, northern, and reticulated giraffes.
Okay.
Of course, the northern giraffes live in the north part of Africa, the southern species live in the southern part, and the other 2 species, Maasai and the reticulated giraffes, are happiest in the east. True or false? Giraffes are the tallest animals on the planet.
I'm going to say true.
That's true. What do you call the 2 short columnar protuberances on the head of the giraffe?
Yes.
A,
Thank you.
papilla. B, antlers. C, ossicones. D, buds.
Oh, gee. So many good fake choice. I'll go with a word I've never heard before, ossicone.
The ossicones is correct.
Ah.
The ossicones on a giraffe, and these are on both the males and females, by the way, are made up of bony cores that develop first within the skin as a knob of cartilage. Then later, these ossicones ossify, becoming bone.
Yeah, very cool.
True or false? All giraffes have the same pattern of patches on them.
No, false.
No 2 giraffes have the same pattern. Their patchwork really depends on the species. What is a group of giraffes called?
That's so funny.
A herd, a crash,
Right.
a tower, or a flock?
I'm going to go with a herd.
A tower.
Okay, that makes sense.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Do you remember what group of animals is called a crash?
No, I don't remember.
Rhinos.
Oh,
The male giraffes compete with each other for dominance by using which part or parts of their bodies? A, their back legs are used for kicking each other. B, they swing their long necks in order to butt heads with each other. C, they use their sharp teeth to go for their opponent's jugular veins. D, they use a kind of MMA technique called a triangle choke, in which they use their front legs to encircle their opponent's long neck.
I'm going to go with B. Something about necks, but not the MMA flavor.
That's correct.
Okay.
In an aggressive fight, giraffes throw punches with the force of their large necks to butt heads. And similar to species with horns or antlers, male giraffes use their ossicones as weapons during combat, where they use their heads essentially as clubs. And when fighting off predators like lions, giraffes use their legs to defend themselves with powerful kicks. But in general, Peter, giraffes are very peaceful animals, and they rarely fight with each other.
That's good.
What color is the giraffe's tongue?
Oh.
White, pink, purplish black.
I think dark purplish black.
Correct.
Yeah.
They say perhaps to protect against sunburn. Their long, muscular tongue, like up to 18 inches long, are used to grasp and manipulate objects and remove leaves and shoots from plants and trees. What is the giraffe's favorite food? Acacia leaves, fig leaves, or palm leaves?
I'll go acacia.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And they eat lots of them, and they are constantly eating and foraging. They are considered browsers, not grazers, which means they mostly consume higher vegetation like leaves on tall trees instead of grass and low vegetation.
That's interesting. I've never heard that term before.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And speaking of their size, we know the giraffe is the tallest animal in the world. It's also the 8th heaviest land mammal. Take a guess. How much do you think the average adult giraffe weighs? Want multiple choice?
No. Okay, I'm going to say 1.5 tons.
Well, actually, I think you're pretty close. Is a ton 2,000 pounds?
I think so. I think
2,000?
American tons.
2,000 pounds?
I think so.
Okay. 3,000 pounds
Okay.
is the answer.
I was close.
Close? You were right on. The answer is 3,000 pounds. Who can run faster? A giraffe or a lion?
I'll go with, in the sprinting category, the lion.
Yes. Giraffes can run up to 35 miles per hour. The giraffe's main predator is the lion, which can accelerate to almost 50 miles per hour. However, the giraffe uses his great height and excellent eyesight to spot a predator like a lion as far as half a mile away, so we can get a head start on the run. Also, lions are really short distance sprinters, so they can't sustain their top speed for a long time. Now, hyenas, another top predator of the giraffe, their top speed is about the same as the giraffe, about 35 miles per hour, but the hyenas hunt cooperatively, meaning they can work together to bring down a giraffe, since a single hyena is probably not strong enough to take down a giraffe.
Yes, Mother Nature can be very cruel.
That's right. Peter, according to the Center for Biological Diversity, giraffe populations have declined nearly 40% in the past 3 decades because of habitat loss, civil unrest, poaching, and human-caused habitat changes. The international trade in giraffe parts, bone carvings, skin, and trophies put additional pressure on these iconic animals. Very sad. And let me just make a comment here about these incredible, complex animals who are imprisoned in zoos. According to Born Free USA, as of 2020, there are at least 579 captive giraffe at 103 zoos throughout North America and more than 800 in European zoos, including at least 150 in UK. From the Born Free Foundation, while giraffes are specialized herbivores living complex lives and roaming over large expanses, so being confined to small enclosures can lead to extreme frustration and boredom, captive giraffes often exhibit abnormal behaviors such as repeatedly twisting their necks or licking the bars of their cage. Okay, so June 21st was World Giraffe Day. This day was initiated by Giraffe Conservation Foundation to highlight the problems giraffes face in their natural habitat. Today, giraffes are listed as vulnerable to extinction on the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species. Here are a couple things you can do to help protect giraffe. Educate people on how and why we should protect giraffes. Support sustainable agriculture and settlement practices near giraffe habitats. Remember, they love acacia trees, so we need to reforest key areas with their primary food source. This is critical. Donate to organizations that are directly working in these areas. We need to stop the poaching of giraffes for their parts, like their tails. There are organizations that are working to outlaw the sale of animal products and body parts. Also, find and support, if you can, these anti-poaching organizations in Africa. I know in Kruger National Park in South Africa, they spend over $13.5 million annually on anti-poaching and have highly trained and dedicated anti-poaching forces. Here's a big one and an easy one. Don't support zoos. Who wants to see these beautiful wild animals depressed and stressed out and bored and confined in unnatural environments? That's not education. That's not conservation. That's just clear-cut cruelty.